administration is taking on Texas over the state's new abortion law. The new lawsuit from the Justice Department says the law takes away a woman's constitutional right to get an abortion. And to prove just how much the White House thinks this is a winning issue for Democrats, listen to the vice president on the stump yesterday in California.
You got to understand what's happening right now. What's happening in Texas, what's happening in Georgia, what's happening around our country with these policies that are about attacking women's rights, reproductive rights, voting rights, workers' rights. They think if they can win in California, they can do this anywhere. Well, we will show them you're not going to get this done. Not here, never.
Niall Stanage, White House columnist with The Hill, joins us. Appreciate it. All right, last week we were talking about how the White House was in the political abyss. Did the Texas governor just throw them a life ring?
To a certain extent, I think the answer is yes, in the sense that if you look at the opinion polling, there is a desire by a plurality of Americans to preserve Roe v. Wade. Obviously, abortion is a massively divisive issue, but there is, I think, a genuine belief, certainly in Democratic circles, that Texas has overreached with this law, and in doing so has given Democrats a political opportunity.
And they seem to be exploiting it to no end. You talk to the White House often. There is a hypocrisy in a sense. If you got the vice president today talking about a woman's body, her choice, and you've got the president saying you have to get a vaccine no matter what. Have they figured out how to deal with that?
Those are deep waters to get into, Leland, honestly, about whether, you know, I'm not arguing one way or the other. I'm just pointing out that, right,
that's going to be the conversation. Does the White House have a talking point yet, or do they kind of not care about the hypocrisy?
Well, I mean, clearly in the case of vaccinations, their argument is that it is for the collective good. Now, collective good when it comes to abortion is a much more difficult thing to calculate. But I think that they believe that they can keep those two issues as separate as possible. Plenty of people will argue otherwise.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's interesting because the Texas governor, who obviously signed this law into effect and celebrating it, said, I issued an executive order protecting Texans' right to choose whether they get the COVID vaccine. So hypocrisy runs deep in both sides. Where does the White House take this? Great talking point, great way to rally the progressive base on this and on the Texas issue. Do they have any polling that says that this works in swing states, not just California?
One of the difficulties with swing states and the abortion issue from the White House's perspective, Leland, is a lot of the important swing states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, have very strong white Catholic populations. The white Catholics make up a significant proportion of the populations in those states. That is a constituency that tends to be anti-abortion, or certainly less pro-abortion than the pro-choice, I should say, than the population at large. So that, again, complicates the political calculus. But if you look at something like the Department of Justice suing Texas, I think that's something that the Biden administration felt it had to do. There's a political imperative from a Democratic perspective to protect reproductive rights. That's a central purpose of the Democratic Party these days.
Yeah, Jen Psaki had to thread that question, actually, in the press briefing. I know you attend a lot of them. Niall, great analysis. We're always smarter when we listen to you and read your stuff in The Hill. Talk to you soon, my friend.